did a LightHawk flight some years ago with National Geographic's Michael Melford. And when the issue came out, the photograph from that flight was featured very prominently. And I called Michael and I asked him how many, what is the circulation of National Geographic? And he said, oh, it's around 10 million. And I just looked at that picture and I realized that there were 10 million people looking out the door of my airplane and thinking about conservation. And so I guess that flight kind of sums up the synergy between LightHawk and important conservation efforts.
One of the things that LightHawk does, by putting pilots together with photographers, together with scientists, that we can create a message that actually can give hope to people. Through these beautiful images that the photographers take, they can be shared and people can see the world that not all is destroyed and there really is hope out there.
When you're on the ground, you think about things that are reported all the time, like boundaries and state boundaries and congressional districts and voting districts and so on. When in the air, you don't see any of that stuff. What you see are rivers and streams and forests and mountains and farms and houses. You see the physical things, and really that's reality, not the imaginary borders. So really you get a chance to see the things that should be uniting us, not dividing us, when you're in the air.
LightHawk serves a tremendous role in the world of conservation. They bring us these dedicated pilots who donate their time to support a mission that they're passionate about, and that mission is conservation, which is critically important in this era of change. I mean, and from the science perspective in the conservation world, they provide us an opportunity to see our landscape in a way that we would not be able to view it on the ground. So when we get in those planes, we can actually see change that helps us understand how we want to direct our science. So whether it's a changing glacier, changes in forests, or desert vegetation, this unique perspective that they offer is tremendously valuable for not only the conservation world, but also science in general.
Sometimes on a LightHawk flight, people have an epiphany, and it's so amazing to see the light bulb go off, to have perhaps in the airplane two different people with opposing views, and listen to the conversation that comes up when everyone in the plane has the same information. That's the view below.
When they met me, they weren't speaking to each other, really. They were on opposite sides of the issue. And by the end of the flight, they were able to see how they could go to a meeting together and present a common view.
Frankly, I think that's really good for democracy, that you don't have to sort of pick and choose who you believe. You get to see it firsthand, and that's very powerful in a democracy, and it's very empowering to people who care about saving their planet.
It really is amazing how when folks get in the air, they can change their minds, they can get educated, they get excited and enthusiastic, and that's what LightHawk does.
This is my 20th year as a volunteer pilot. It's so rewarding, it's so amazing, and even though I donate the day and the flight and the fuel and the cost of a flight, I always come home richer from the people that I meet and knowing that I'm engaged in something that's positive and constructive and beneficial for conservation. I'm doing something with experts in the field, and it is such a gift to be able to meet and work with people who are specialists and are spending the energy of their life doing something they believe in that matters.
One of the things I discovered, and it may be my own view, but LightHawk is a well-kept secret, and it shouldn't be. I mean, the staff at LightHawk are conservation scientists. They just don't coordinate flights. They actually work with our conservation partners to try to get a flight that is meaningful and really will improve conservation science.
Pilots are always looking for something to do and someplace to go with their airplane, and when they can do that in the service of conservation, it's an especially rewarding experience. So you get the best of both worlds. You're flying your airplane and enjoying it. You're making a contribution to society and our conservation initiatives and meeting some wonderful people at the same time.